King, do you?
Alright.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Okay.
Alright. Y'all, let's do this.
And be ready for follow-up questions. We drilled McCoskey pretty hard.
Alright, guys. Hello, everyone. It is I, Nerdy Enforcement Genius here, and today I will be presenting Brainy Bites. Now, this is a vending machine. And this vending machine saves you money at schools. And you might be going, whoa, 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 whoa. How is that possible? Well, I'll tell you. It's called answering questions and studying hard. So what is the concept behind this? Well, you know how, like, people are starving and, like, they don't have a lot of money to, like, buy food? Well, we could solve that. But we also want to encourage kids to do well at school. So what if we made it cheaper if they answered a couple questions at the vending machine and then they got their meal? And it was like cheaper. Well, here's the vending machine. You got your items, the little push thing, the items come down, a cash slot, the coins, a screen, and the card input. Now, as for this product, you will have a student ID and your card or your cash, whatever. First, you'll tap your ID, and then you'll go up and it'll give you a list of questions. Starting out with the okay, we're gonna test you on your subject, your name, and questions, and then it actually asks you the questions. Up here, it tells you your subject of the questions. Like maybe you're good at math, so it'll ask you one math question and then two history questions because you have like an F in history right now. And then there's a little timer because you got like a minute to answer because you got to get a whole bunch of students going. And then here's your 1, 2, 3 questions, and then multiple choice with 4 boxes, and your question would be up here. After you do that, you will receive your results, and depending on how well you do, you get a certain percentage off. So if you do everything right and you solve everything within like 60 seconds, you could get like 75 to 80% off your pricing. Then it gives you to the selection screen where you see all your items listed on here, and then you tap your money card, or you put in the payment whenever you're ready. And that's the essence of the product. Now, for pricing, it was pretty actually simplistic. For the school size, it'll be $4,000 to $6,000 because the average vending machine is $3,000 to $10,000. But like, I'm not a scammer. And then the home size, your one, it'll be like a little small one. See the size of this paper? It'd be about half that, and then it'd be around like $90 because DC motors are really cheap, and software is also pretty easy to make. And then other little small things. Uses an algorithm to determine one question you're good at, and then two like questions you'd suck at, depending on the subject. So as I mentioned before, if you're good at math, it'll ask you one question that you'll probably know, so you at least get like 20% off. And then the other two are going to be harder questions, things you might not know as well. And that's that part of the project. Now, before I move on, any questions? No? Alright, cool. Now,
Wait, what? I thought you said before we move on to questions. Wait, what'd you say?
Before we move on, do you have any questions?
I'm sure we do.
Okay, ask them now.
Would either of you like to start?
Works. How does, ask them about what the product, I mean.
Okay, I'll start because this is one that was like on my mind earlier. You said that it requires one of the ways they can go is a student ID to scan.
Yeah.
I don't know where you come from, but I don't. A lot of schools, at least the school we went to, we don't really get student IDs, and the ones we did that were like it was just a picture of us and our name.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how it's supposed to figure out what
just
what grade, what concept, what classes we're bad at, what questions we need.
Yeah. I mean A, D, C, D, F. So it just gives you a base report card. It'll scan in, and then it just grabs your ID from the card, and then it grabs from the database your current grades, and asks you from there. It's pretty simple.
So with this vending machine, basically you have to give every student an ID card.
Yeah. I mean, my school did that.
And another thing I want to ask is the vending machine. It sounds like it still works even without the questions.
Yeah.
Or do you actually have?
But you get nothing. You get it's full price. The point is.
Oh, okay. So it's just really okay. So this just discounts the food. It doesn't actually give it to you for free.
Right. It goes down and down and down.
Okay.
Of course you can customize it. All right. Any other questions before we move on the machine?
Is there still more of presentation left?
No, this presentation's not ending. I just want to make sure you all understand how the machine works before we get into the second part.
What's the second part?
All
Yeah,
right,
what's the second part?
that's really simple. So, second part is going to be about the concepts and what it can provide to you. So this is like my pitch at this point.
Okay, well,
I'm just presenting.
do any of us have any more questions about the machine then before he goes on to that?
I want to hear it first.
Noodle?
No, I agree with King. I want to hear it first.
All right, go ahead then.
All
Floor's
right.
yours.
So the goal behind this machine is to encourage students to perform better in a and reward them for doing better in classes. So if a student is let's say student A is doing terrible, he's awful, and then this new machine comes in and he realizes he could get a Kit Kat bar if he does really well, like, or he could get a meal when you normally have to pay for it or make his own. Well, the student will then theoretically do a lot better or study more since you get a reward. So that's the premise behind this project. Um, from there, the vending machine is supposed to also be ADA approved. So basically, if you're like in a wheelchair, you don't have good arms, you can still reach the stuff, you can still get it. Um, other little processes, other little notes about the project is um, oh, it's the simplicity. So you could another idea you could have is attach this to an already made vending machine with the software involved on one of the more modern devices. Because, for example, the vending machine in my school, you could attach assessments to it, attachments to it for like what we had a freezer attachment. So you could plug it into there and then have it do the same thing. So you wouldn't have to buy a new vending machine. Um, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to go first with my question.
All right.
Go ahead.
So if it goes based off of the student's grades, like using like the card, would it like make the questions harder the more and more the student uses like the vending machine? Because what if their grade stays the same, like in like, outside of it? If they like with continuous use, would they make them harder?
Yeah, it would make those. So if you're going down in one, it would make those questions appear more and even harder if it keeps going down and it keep asking them to reinforce, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And if, like, let's say a student's grade starts going up, it would adjust. It's going to be more like an algorithm, if that makes sense. So it'll adjust according to what it needs.
All right.
One concern I had was the school me and Middle went to. There was only two vending machines.
Yeah.
And let's just say that those both vending machines were taken out and put in with yours. I don't know about your school or what school everyone else went to, but at the school we went to, we only had 5 minutes between classes. Are there any concerns that the lines at the vending machine would be too long? People would like not be able to get food or anything.
So the idea was more for lunch, or like a lunchtime. You would be getting these snacks, and also this, as I mentioned,
Like
there's
okay,
a
so
timer.
like
There's a timer with questions, so you only get a minute to do your process. And of course, let's say you, as you mentioned, the 5 minutes. Let's say you only have 5 minutes between class. You could lower that to be 20 seconds. The student gets 20 seconds to answer a question
oh.
between classes.
So this is more of a vending machine you put in like the lunchroom, not like in the halls or anything.
Yeah, it's more like food.
Okay. Does it increase the price if you get like all three questions wrong or anything like that?
It doesn't increase, but it stays the same. Rather, it'd be the base price.
Okay.
Hi, Danny.
Noodle, do you have anything?
I had one question, yes, about the timer. So if I was a big like dum dum and I didn't know the answer to my questions and the timer were to so happen run out, would I get a refund in money or would it just like take my money and I don't get a snack or anything?
No, that's okay. So you pay afterwards. You do the questions first. That's the process.
Okay.
So it doesn't take your money.
Okay, I didn't know if it like took money automatically, like if you had a lunch balance on a student ID or anything.
You have to put a separate thing in that, either like your card or cash.
I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna mute Daniel real quick.
What's up?
Okay. I just had to mute Daniel real quick.
Oh yeah.
How about when someone gets like all three questions wrong, a big alarm blares and just tells everybody around them how dumb they are?
No, I mean you could, but no. Also, if you can't figure out one question, you could skip to the next one. That's another part of the design. So you can just hold 1, 2, or 3. The top here.
How big is the discount that it would give you? So say you're buying like a Hershey bar, that's like $1.50. You get the
So
three questions.
snacks go up to like 90%. Meals go up to like 70, 80%, 70%. So it can
How
be.
do the schools plan to profit off of this
Oh,
design if it's going to get so low?
oh, okay, simple. It's really simple. You've raised the base price of the actual product by 30%.
Let's try
Uh,
again. It's weird.
Okay.
oh, no. To make profit off this, it would because students would be paying more and more for it. Oh, like more students would be doing it more often, and you have more people coming in to get those snacks, those foods. And if it was the main source, if it was the main meals, it would definitely be a lot more um it would be a lot more possible to get more people coming in to get those foods, especially if you reward them. And of course, you could lower the amount too from 40% maybe instead. I just say 90 or 75 because I'm not a marketician. I'm just coming up with numbers here.
Even then, if like the masses of like in the school, if they all get like if they're all smart and they all get it right, everyone's gonna get like a big discount. So they're still losing money.
Well, yeah, I don't think many schools will have that issue, but if they do, you could always lower it. Keep in mind, you can always lower the percentage. So you could make it 10-5 if you're really having that issue. But um, I mean, go to really any school. That's not happening. I mean, at least to what the research I've pulled, many schools suffer in grades and poor output of students. Many public schools, especially. So in more public schools, it would definitely be a lot more profitable than a private school.
I feel like this like whole like money loss problem could be solved if it was just like not a 90% discount like you're saying.
Okay.
Because like
Well,
I don't know about you all, but like I would do three questions just for like a 10% at least.
Okay, that works. 10, 20. I just said some numbers. I don't know. You can adjust them to what would fit the school's budget.
I have another question. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting anything,
No, you're
but
good. Go on.
so say like you have your questions and I feel like you mentioned them being multiple choice. So how would you prevent students from looking up answers and cheating?
Time. You have a limited amount of
Just
time.
time.
Because
Okay.
you have to type in the answer in Google, and then you have to search it.
Cool.
And if you give a small amount of time, they're not going to have enough time for that. And okay, let's say the student has a super is you having an issue with that. You can have a monitor, a teacher. Now, I don't put a camera on my system because people like their privacy, but you can always do that to watch what they're doing. But
Hmm.
there's already solutions for that out there. Like my school would just take away your phone. I'm not. You weren't allowed to have it.
The phone jail.
Yes, you couldn't have it even at lunch. They kept it in a little 12th grade, Your Honor. They still kept my phone. But yeah, that's how that would work.
And any of you have any questions left?
Yeah. Would it have like how does the interface work to include like text messages for people like with disabilities, like say the kids with Down syndrome? Because at my school they have a section for
I
those.
was gonna
Would
say.
would it be accessible for like those people as well?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, Danny was overlapping. You had to mute him.
Would it be accessible for like different people like that have like disabilities, like people
Yes,
with Down
I
syndrome?
mentioned that earlier. Yes, so things are lower down. There's a smaller screen. I mean, this is the things are lower. Um, I had my dad help me just, but it's supposed to be down here. These things are supposed to be lower. This is not correct, but scaling. But yes, it's lower for students with wheelchairs. If someone needs help, it's a screen. It's pretty simple. Everything's big. Everything's big and juicy. So you shouldn't have problems like reading it. Reading you should get the size is up to like 220 if you need. Like
All
220
right.
vision is what that's called. It goes up to like that. No, sorry. Yeah, you get my point. And any other disability services questions? Because I don't know all the specific ones.
Would there be um any help for people that would have like dyslexia or color blindness?
Yeah.
Or blindness in
Okay.
general, like having braille on the machine.
Yeah. That's more application, but yes, because that's just from what I've known, you can there's like a dyslexia formatting, dyslexia text, dyslexia, as I mentioned with the sizing, and you can also do it with the font. But that's more once again, that's more like application side. So that wouldn't be an issue. That's easy to add.
Okay.
All right, is that all?
I'm good.
I'm good as
I'm
well,
good as
Noodle.
well.
Yes, I'm
All right.
good.
Nerdy, thank you for your time. Danny, you too, even though you're just kind of moral support. We are going to go check in with the last tribe, and then we will talk about it and let everyone know who won.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Have a wonderful day. Do you need a picture of the concept art thing?
You can just put it in your tribe. You can just put it in your camp.
All
Take a
right,
picture and
cool.
put it in your camp.
All right.
We're going to move over now. Thank you.